Hey, good morning, Goff and God. Hope everybody's doing well. Windy day, but nice day on the course. And so today we're talking about holding on to something that keeps us from grabbing onto something new. In golf, there's definitely a comparison here that's easily relatable for most of us. If you grip your club too tight, you get too much tension, starts in your hands and it carries up through your body, and it completely messes your swing. You almost want to get to the point where you can just grip lightly, almost to let go of the club. But you don't want to let go of the club completely. Trust me, it's not pretty. Anyways, so it reminds me of a story of a little girl who had fallen over a cliff. And the little girl had with her stuffed teddy bear. And this little girl had been through just the world's crappiest situations completely. She came from a split home. Her mother was an alcoholic, was gone every day. She had began to fully trust in this stuffed animal. And a storm was approaching and the winds were picking up. The paramedics had just gotten there. And it was in arm's reach of the first firefighter that reached her. And he reached his hand down there, but she wouldn't take a hold of his hand. And they tried to convince her, and they tried to convince her, and they tried to convince her that to just let go of the stuffed animal, let go of that teddy bear, and grab the firefighter's hand, and she'd be pulled to safety. But the winds continued to grasp, continued to blow and blow. The rain started coming down. She became cold. She started shivering. Like, this was a life-threatening situation for this little girl. But she had put so much trust into this stuffed animal. She was not going to let go, and it was going to cost her her life. She was not going to reach for that firefighter's hand because she had put her full trust and her full faith in this stuffed animal. I tell you this story because for the fourth time in the past 2 months, and I know it's not just me, I know that other people are approached and asked for help all the time. But an instance came to me. This person was losing their home, losing everything, had lost their job, was being evicted, and so I had, for the second time, been approached by this person over a number of months. They were in a tough financial spot. They were being evicted from their home. They didn't have a job. They had an injury that was not allowing them to work for whatever reason. I don't know all the circumstances. They didn't have unemployment or disability, but they wanted money to buy a camper. And, we're always here to help. We should always be here to help. But sometimes throwing money at a problem when a person has trouble with money, that's not always the best scenario. And in this particular instance, I had a place for them to go. I had a place for them to stay free of charge. But they weren't willing to let go of some of the things in their life. They had a dog. They weren't willing to let go of their dog. They had a car that they could have sold and downgraded, but they weren't willing to let go of that. And it just reminded me sometimes that we have to be willing to let go of some things that we think are important in our life, but God may think is different. And really letting go and letting God help you. And so the passage this week, Matthew 19:24, where Jesus says it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the gates of heaven. He wasn't saying that money's bad. He talks about how the love of money is bad and how hard it is for people to let go of something that they take pride in, to actually let God help them in there. So I want to encourage you this week to continue to bless others with the talents and the gifts that you've been given. But be smart in how you do that, and encourage you to really look for the true ways to help people and not just throw a Band-Aid on the problem. And encourage them to trust God. And when you trust God, you have to let go of that stuffed animal. You have to let go of the things that you've worked so hard for. And it's tough. It's tough, but letting go and letting God is that phrase that some people use. But living by that is so hard. as it goes through there. So hope you enjoy this week's Golf and God. Read that passage, study how much pride gets in our way and what letting God actually have our lives is really like. So hit the like button, hit the share button. Somebody needs to hear this message today. I appreciate you greatly. Thanks. Bye.